Okay, welcome back. This is part 2 of taking a look at internet packets. So we've got Wireshark up, and if we take a look at what we captured with it, it tells me that I've got about 293 packets, and I let this capture go for about 7 seconds. So as you can scroll up, you can see there are many different kinds of packets that were sent. And what we're going to do is start exploring these. First, a little orientation about what's going on with Wireshark here. You'll see that Wireshark is divided into 3 parts. The top pane shows you the actual frames. It's sort of like the master list. If you pick a particular frame, I'm going to pick let's say number 10, you'll notice that down here in the center section it tells me that it's frame 10 and it's 66 bytes long, and it gives me some information. Now you might notice that these 4 divisions in the center pane reflect. The top one is the physical layer, the second one is your data link, then we've got network and transport. So it shows the different OSI layers. If you pick a particular layer, let's get us a little bit more room here. I pick like transmission protocol and I expand that. Continuing on, we take a look at frame number 10, sort of highlighted here. We can see that it has a bit of information. Let me widen this out here so you can see a little bit more of it. It tells me who is the source, who is the destination. My computer, I believe, is set up so the laptop is 1.7 and the source coming from the outside, which would be the web server, is the 255-09, I believe, for this HTTP. Notice on the TCP packet we have a sequence number and acknowledge number. Alright, so when we actually get a response back from that, those sequence and acknowledge numbers are going to be reversed. We'll talk about that a little bit more. In the middle frame, what I did was I actually expanded the transmission TCP protocol window, the double click, and now we can get some information. The port, you'll remember from the video, we have a source port and a destination port. So it gives us more and more information as we go down and into granularity. If I pick a particular destination port, you also see down in the third window, which is the actual hex representation of the ones and zeros going out on the frame of the physical wire. These are the ones and zeros in hex representation for destination port 49666. And so if I go to sequence number, it tells me that this is the sequence number. So we can get a lot of data from all the different packets. So as part of this exercise, I've given each one of you a particular element on the web page to show me both in the HTML and also in the actual packet that the HTML data was sent. So how do we find it in all of this? Well, in the HTML you can just use the familiar Control F for find and put in what it said on the web page, and you'll probably find it. You've only got about 12 pages to go through. If you were to print out all this data in packet form, it'd be 1,000 or 2,000 pages. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but again, we can use the familiar Control F to start helping us. So when we do our Control F, we'll do our Control F here, we bring up a find packet. There are several things that you can do to find. You can find information on the first window, which is like protocols. If I wanted to find all, notice it's red because it doesn't understand what Reaver is. But if I put something in that it does understand, like TCP, it turns green, and it'll go and find all the TCP packets. Well, we're interested in HTML code, so we want to look at strings. Now, clear the window, change this over to string, and the first thing that I sort of showed you as a demonstration was contact us. So if I put in contact us, that's green. That gives me a somewhat sense of feeling that maybe it's in here somewheres, and then I hit find, and it goes and it takes me to a couple of the frames. We take the center portion here. As you can see, there's a lot of information in some of this. This is a little more there we go. I'm downsizing all this so you can see it. Okay. This says that in frame 98, which would be this guy right here, okay, it got a certain number of bytes from the wire. If I go to Transmission Control Protocol, I scroll down a bit, it tells me that it's in hypertext. It recognized from the center protocol portion in the upper window, it recognized it's hypertext. So now I expand that and I scroll down, and it says somewhere is buried in there is going to be our contact us. So let's go back to our find window and see if we can find exactly where that is. And sure enough, we have a HTML reference that says, okay, working with IWCC secure page. It's called a contact ASP, which we recall from the previous guide, and it's contact ASP, and it says contact us. And if we wanted to actually take a look at that down in hex bytes, this would be the information that we would see. So refer to the handout that's going to be on the class website as to what elements on the IWCC web page I want you individually to be responsible for. So I want you to come up with where is it in the HTML code from view source, and then I want you to find what packet it is, and just print out those screens showing a highlighted section of where the element is in those two sources. So thank you very much, and hope you have fun with this. See you next time.